Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the Saturday morning, y'all. It's your boy B Jizzle, and we were live back here today on a special edition. And oh, by the way, yeah, there's some trending news in the last 24 hours about George Pickens and Mando minicamp, because you know he wasn't there the first day of Mando OTA. So we're going to touch on that. But top of the morning to everybody on all three platforms. We're streaming live on three platforms this morning. We're live on Built Different Group. Special shout out to all of our Green Badge supporters who've been holding it down for the content here. This episode is brought to you today by our Green Badge supporters. Shout out to all of the professionals on LinkedIn. Shout out to all my veterans over there, teaching veterans how to get monetized on Facebook every week over there on Free Game Creator Hub. Shout out to all the LinkedIn veterans. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Want to make sure we show some love over there. But I got a special guest or two lined up today, because today, y'all, we are 88 days away from the NFL kicking off. That's right. We are 88 piece. That's right. You see it scrolling down at the bottom. That's going to be the question for the show. Who is your favorite 88? But we're going to bring a first guest on, someone that's been on our platform here today before. Someone that you know, especially if you're a boots on ground type of fan, if the Arlington area, you may get around a little bit. A thing or two. Let's welcome my guy Stoney Curse to the show, because he's got like a Cowboy Smithsonian out there about 2 miles from the stadium. How we doing today, Stoney?
Man, we're hot, but we're doing great. We can't wait for the season to kick off.
Yeah, how hot is it out there, really?
It's probably about 100 right now, 98.
Oh,
like
yeah. I see you got your sweatband on up underneath there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we got the projects going on, the Cowboy project. We're sweating out there.
Yeah, let's talk about that for everybody that's new here, maybe haven't been familiar with you yet, Stoney. Stoney has a Smithsonian. His whole house is cowboyed out. Y'all have seen me go to his house multiple times. Many of you have learned about this place. But Stoney, tell us what's going on at the new Smithsonian projects there.
Well, we had to build another building. You know how that goes. It keeps expanding, it gets bigger and bigger, so we have to keep adding to it. So, and
okay.
That's one of the projects. We're doing a lot of painting as far as the Super Bowl logos go, 5, 6 maybe after this year. So 5 logos we have to paint.
Okay.
So that's kind of what's happening right now at the moment.
Right. And it's kind of this, it's really, some folks are like, what? You're doing projects around your house. It's all cowboyed out and it's the off season. Like, you've been doing this for how many years now? You've been plus 30 years or something like that.
A long time. Yeah.
You've been collecting how many?
Everybody expects the off season that what Cowboy projects going to happen here at the museum. So, every year we got to come up with something, and that's my passion. It's what we enjoy doing. So, that's a full-time job here at the museum now.
All right. Well, let's talk about what is the buzz like going around in Arlington right now as we get ready to go in this week to mandatory minicamp, as I know a lot of folks are excited. And I know you shared something with me backstage before we got on here. You say you feel a little different about this season, Stoney?
I do. I feel different than previous seasons. I just feel like that we got, I think we got more than enough defensive help that we needed, that we need, so we'll have some backup and stuff like that. But I think our defense gets rolling the way our offense has been. I think, I feel really well about this season. I really do. I think we got a chance to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, look at the schedule, Our schedule, I think it favors us.
Yeah. How you feeling about those 2 first games? I mean, we got a game on the road, Sunday Night Football in New York, division game. Then we got the home opener there with you, where I know a lot of folks are going to be coming by to visit you, including myself, against the Washington Commanders. I mean, 2 division games back-to-back, Stoney.
That's all right. That's perfect way to start the season, because you win those 2, you're off to a roll, man. You're off to a roll. So anything can happen from there. You win them first 2 division games and just keep on trucking,
Yeah, well, you're definitely right. I mean, we could be in the driver's seat, and also, if we were to split, that's not so well, because those are 2 important games straight coming out of the gate. But before we get too far into Cowboys talk, I mean, we are on 88 days before the NFL kicks off, and you've had an 88 or 2 come by and visit you. And I know in this month we're celebrating Playmaker, but Playmaker came to visit you one time there at your house.
Yeah, he's been here. He's come over to the museum and checked it out. He came here and filmed a commercial in the front yard. And I guess the main reason he came was to nominate me for that Ford Hall of Fans. But
That's right.
yeah, he's a great guy. I loved it when he came. And, Drew's also been here, the original 88.
Now, see, this is news to me. Now, I know I bet for everybody just tapping in, I want y'all to know I told Stoney that he been holding out on me. So the original 88 came by. When did this happen, Stoney?
Oh, it's been years ago, but to be able to say that they've both been here, is pretty awesome. But what it was there was a news media member at one of the local news stations. Kind of became, when she came out to do her story, she happened to know Drew personally, and when she found out that Michael had been here, she kind of set it up as a surprise for me. She just made a phone call, having his personal phone number and everything like that. And the next thing you know, I came home one day and he was already here, but I didn't know he was here. And they kind of hid him out in the other room, the other building there. And they told me to go out there and get something. And I opened the door and Drew Pearson was standing in there. So that was pretty neat.
That's got to be awesome.
They did that lady. She did it as a surprise for me. The news media lady. So that was pretty. So
you've had the original by there. You've had the Playmaker by there. So any Dez sightings yet? Any CD sightings yet?
No, not those guys yet. But I tell you, they don't ever. When you don't know that they're coming, it's a big surprise. So it's
Oh yeah, of course.
See here's where. Can you see the picture here, Barry?
Oh yeah. That's you, the Playmaker. That's the day he came by in his gold jacket. I remember that video.
Yeah. He was in his Hall of Fame jacket, and then my wife Diana, she's standing in there in the picture as well. But yeah, it was pretty neat. You open that door, and Michael Irvin's standing there in his gold Hall of Fame jacket. I tell you, what a surprise!
So what was the first thing that went through your mind when you was like, oh shit, that's Playmaker? Like, what happened?
Well, I was just in awe, I was just expecting it to be a friend or something.
You're starstruck, huh?
And you open that door and he's standing there in his Hall of Fame jacket. You know how he talks, right? He's like, Stoney, how you doing? So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then he ended up filming a commercial in the front yard. So.
Oh wow! And so that was when you were nominated for the Ford Hall of Fans. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been a while ago, but
that was a few years back. I remember that. And then, I know you shared your commissioner story here while he came by here and gave you a couple of Super Bowl tickets, but 2 of the 488s. I mean, you're batting at 500 right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think we should get Dez by there. So somebody's watching in Dez's camp or CD's camp. Y'all need to send this video to him. We need to have him come do a cameo at Stoney's.
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome to have all the main 88s come by. That's for sure. We got the 2 main ones. We need 2 more.
Man, we might get some 88 behavior going over there, Stoney. But as we get back to these Cowboys a little bit, I wanted to have this show here today to, mainly because we're 88 days away from the season kicking off to celebrate the 88 club, but also to connect fans out in the Metroplex. I know a lot of Cowboy fans may be going to their first game this season. I wanted to make sure if you weren't familiar with who Stoney is here, he was featured on our blog back in 2018. I'll take this link. I'll share it in the story. And there's some ways that you can get with Stoney, and we'll share those here too if you want to go by there and pay him a visit and see some of the new projects you got going on, because I know you had the pro shop back there with Playmaker on it. That's still there. You said a new building went up?
Yeah, I had to put up another little building and put some more stuff in. It's right there in front of that building that you're talking about. But I guess we've got 5 buildings on location now, full of the stuff for the museum. So. Oh, they just handed me this. When Drew was here, he signed a copy of his Hail Mary book.
Wow.
Can you see that?
Yeah. That's okay, man. Cool. I'm gonna take a look at that, man. You've been holding out on me, Stoney. I didn't know you had all this. Maybe I should have just asked.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, man. There's a lot of stuff going on here. You know what's really funny right now, Barry, is that FIFA stuff's going on around here now, the soccer.
Oh, yeah.
If you go drive by the Cowboy Stadium right now, you can't see anything Cowboys anywhere around that. And it's weird looking. Even the AT&T Stadium on the roof, it's all covered up. You know how the parking lots have the players so you know which parking lot?
Right. Yeah, I seen the media come out about all that.
It's all covered up.
They said no promo for Jerry Jones, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, we got another special guest that's going to be tapping in with the Metroplex with us right now. You know what they say, when you got a problem, you go get the boss. Let's welcome my guy, Boss Cowboy, to the show. Is he there or is he stuck? Boss, you there?
Boss, you there? Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm not sure if you can see me.
I can see you. Yeah. We can see you. You got the plant in the background. It says Boss Show Me. Yeah. How we doing today, Boss? Right. Man, it's been a long time coming on Built Different Group.
I know. It's definitely been a long time coming. I'm definitely happy to be here, brother.
Yeah, we got another guest in the Metroplex with us today. I'm not sure. I think maybe you might have been by Stoney. Are you familiar with Stoney Kirsch over there in his Cowboy Smithsonian near the stadium?
I think I saw it before, especially if he was at SportsCon. I think that's where I saw. Were you at SportsCon before?
No.
Well, you brought your stuff? I think I remember seeing.
If you have, bottom line is, bro, if you haven't been here, you're more than welcome to come check this place out.
Yeah. No, he's about a mile and a half right from the stadium, and that's what I wanted to do today.
1.6 miles from the driveway.
Yes, connect all the fans out there in the Metroplex, Boss, because there's folks that don't know about Stoney Smithsonian out there to be able to go and tour his immaculate home out there. But Boss, welcome to the show, baby. For the folks that are just tapping in that aren't familiar with you in my audience today, can you tell them a little bit about who Boss Cowboy is with Boss Cowboy Sports?
Yeah, Boss Cowboy is the mantra of my channel is your voice matter. So what we try to do is we make sure that we are activism type of channel where we don't want to just do content for the Cowboys. We want to be active in the process of trying to really aggressively put the best ideas into the atmosphere to where we can, people and decision makers can glean from those ideas and then maybe even implement. Because I aggressively know that when we unify our voices and we're saying things that are smart, Jerry through John Machota, what John Machota said about Jerry and Steven, that they get a report every day about what things that we're saying on Twitter and X. And, you notice as a business owner, whenever a billionaire is watching something every day, that means it's aggressively tied to his income. So I believe that when we unify our voices, we can really make good changes. So that's what my channel is based on, is really, really pursuing and pushing ideas that can really try to help us win a championship for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, so we're going to get to the easy part first, Boss. I got a couple questions for you, and then I'm going to throw it back to Stoney. But my first question for you is, Boss, who is your favorite 88 of all and why?
That would be Playmaker, Michael Irvin. That's an easy one for me because it wasn't just his play. It was, the way that he galvanized so many people around him. And that to me, he carried the spirit of a true leader. And when somebody is a receiver, but that's also the leader of your team, receiver is generally a place to where they usually don't have the demeanor to lead men. I know that sounds crazy, but that's kind of like how I saw receivers playing cornerback. Maybe that's my bias. But no, it would definitely be Michael Irvin easily.
Love it. And then, one more question for something that's been trending just as of the last 24 hours. I'm pretty sure your ears are always and your eyes are always on the tweets, but some local reporters was like at a camp with George Pickens and asked him if he was going to be at Mando minicamp this week on the 16th, and his response was, care to elaborate on that or what you may know about that, Boss?
Yeah, he was likely that was planned, and I would say that he was sending the message, and he's been trying to cry out to us. We haven't been listening as fans, in my opinion. He'd been sending the signal that he never wanted to play on the tag. And the problem is, especially when I spoke about my mantra, your voice matter, is a lot of our fans don't want to aid him right now. They don't want to get behind him and say, okay, we're going to get with you to help fight with you to try to get you compensated and not have this cloud hanging over. So, he's sending a signal. He's sending a clear signal that I'm unhappy, especially from the fact that Steven said that I'm not even going to negotiate, which makes it even worse. See, it's one thing to be waiting on the compensation and frustrated about that, which is normal, right? We've seen that happen a lot, right? All around the league. But for your boss, which no other boss has ever done, to come out and say, we're not going to even have talks, that made it even worse. So it's one of those situations to where this, next week being voluntary, it's going to be some type of statement again, whether it's a hold in. I doubt he does an all out hold out, because then he would miss and be fined for not being there. So I would anticipate a hamstring, a back, a headache, sniffles, something to say that I can't practice, but I'm here.
Well, let me throw it to Stoney back down there, and I want to get it from a fan's perspective on the ground with somebody just made of learning this. I think I shared it with you in the green room, what I had just learned on social media too as well. What are your thoughts on that from a fan's perspective, Stoney? It's been really quiet this all season with no contract drama. If George doesn't show up, and then we got to hear this. What's your thoughts?
I think when it comes game down, he's going to be ready to go, regardless of the money and the contracts and all that. I think when it comes time that first game, he's going to be ready to go, and he'll be excited about it.
That's plain and simple right there. I mean, sound like that's common sense, right, boss? Is like you said, fans need to get behind GP because there's been a lot of noise coming out of the front head shed saying we're not going to do this, which means I don't know, boss. If George doesn't report to Mando minicamp, he's got sniffles and all of that. I mean, we got to hear about this until July 15th.
Yeah,
you go hear about it all the way up to July 15th, and it could be by design. It's a reason why. Yeah, it's a reason why we haven't, been back to an NFL championship in 30 years, but yet the wealth of this organization continues to explode because, Jerry, being a master marketing guy, obviously realized that it's way more than one way to really grow. And he uses what I call a Kardashian model. And the Kardashian model is where you put everything on camera, even things that's sacred, for the publicity because it's going to make you wealthy. So this could be one of those things to where everybody's going to win in the end, but Jerry's going to also kind of rake in the coffers from the attention that this is going to generate. That's what I really hope. I did a video where I said this could be a takeaway clause because I graduated in sales. This button right here is from the sales program. I graduated at the University of Houston. And one of the things that they taught us in that program was some kind of takeaway clause. So, in sales, and this, Barry, doing sales yourself, this, being a self-study salesperson too, that sometimes you got to take it away. And when you want to try to create scarcity, that's the whole point of the takeaway clause, is to try to appear as if we can only do one of you guys. But I'm really trying to draw you to the table humble. I'm trying to take away your leverage. So I believe that, I hope that's what they're doing. But I'm going to also be frank and say this. If they never negotiate with him all the way up to July 15th, I'm going to make the assumption that this was all about publicity and they want the negative publicity because it's going to make them a lot of money and that they're putting money over football. Like, nothing is going to change my mind on that. But because it's literally no logic in not negotiating. Because Barry, Stoney, I'm going to ask a simple question. What if George Pickens wants to be team friendly?
I'm sorry, boss. I didn't hear your question.
I said, I'm going to ask you a simple question. What if George Pickens wants to be team friendly? And Jerry and them would never know if they never open up the door to negotiations. So
they could be talking behind the scenes.
Yeah, but if you're saying you didn't talk and you're not going to talk, that's why I said if they come out and say we've never talked, that we held our line to never talking to David Mulligata all the way up to July 15th, it never happened behind the scenes or anything like that. They never was serious. It's that basically winning is not definitely first here, that they definitely put their money first, which is going to be sacrificing George Pickens and making it a publicity ploy the entire season. Like if they don't have any kind of negotiation. Yeah. So and it's one of those things to where what I don't want to happen from this. I just did a show about this. Is what happened with Earl Thomas. See, Earl Thomas was in a contract dispute with Seattle, and he broke his leg. But what was happening even before he broke his leg, and he shot the middle finger to Pete Carroll because he was, upset that he now, because of that broken leg, would make it hard for him to get a contract. But Earl said something, and I broke his interview down because he had an interview with Diana. And he said, man, it was hard for me to practice, and it's hard to practice when people not paying you. And a lot of people, and the common fans, we're not going to understand that. But when you really think about it, every day that Pickens wakes up without a contract, he's taking a risk of losing a lottery ticket. Even though you receive $27 million under this tag, that's not even close to what you should be receiving, especially when you look at people like Drake London, who you clearly way outperform, who getting at least $100 million guarantee on his contract. So something like that could cause our player to be a malcontent to where, yes, he's going to show up in the games because he has to. The game lights is going to be how he's interviewing for the Cowboys as well as teams around the league. But he's not going to want to go all out at practice. He's not going to want to dive around, and he's probably not going to want to do any extra things on the field like blocking, because anything that's risking him losing that $100 million is going to be in the back of his mind. And it's going to be an environment that we created.
Yeah.
I understand it. I just don't like it. Go ahead, Stoney.
No, I was just going to say I get it, and I understand that. He is getting, the money to play this year. And I think when the first game comes, he's going to go out there and give it his all, his best. He may mess around in practice or whatever, but he already knows what he's doing. It ain't that big a deal.
And with that being said, I know we've been on the offensive side of the ball. I want to get your thoughts, Stoney, on the new way this defense is shaping up, especially the way the Cowboys draft, because you said you feel different. How does this new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, and this new approach with the defense, it seems like, make that different?
I think he's great. I love his approach. I love the way he teaches and gets with the guys. He seems to be a great communicator with them. And, he gets on their level and they understand him. They all like him. And, they look excited out there. They look, it's just a little bit different vibe. It's not just ho hum. They seem like they're excited about the season. And, I think they're going to be ready to go. Getting Gary over here from Green Bay, I think that's a good thing. They got a lot of good stuff this offseason.
Yeah, we got a lot of young talent that people are overlooking, boss. And I want you to kind of explain to everybody, because I know how you like to get into weeds with everything, as a boss should. Why we haven't maybe went out and got a veteran linebacker, because some of this unproven talent that's like Demo saying he's going to be the green dot. Like,
Yeah, and what scares some people about linebacker, and especially Demo at middle linebacker, is his injury history. Because middle linebacker is the most impactful position in football. It's where you cannot avoid the car accidents. It's going to be car accidents almost every play. Whether you've taken on the guard, whether you having to, obviously shed blocks and hit guys in the backfield or attempt to, it's very physical. So that kind of made a lot of people pause. But anxious, great with the addition of Williams. So to me, talent-wise, we definitely upgraded safety. Absolutely. Exponentially.
Have some depth there too.
Cornerback, linebacker, I think. Yeah, they have a pretty good depth there. And Revel coming off of it. And that should also take a grade up because of Parker and his technical teaching, which was said earlier by Stoney. The issue that we have that I'm not sold yet, that I'm going to go with my name show me, is edge. The edge is full of committee guys. I don't believe there's a guy there that we are all depend who they have to scheme for. There's literally nobody on the edge that any team is going to fear. Not one, or even scheme. They're going to trust as a rocker on. So, but that's the only downside of the defense to me is the lack of edge. Now, the up thing is going to be obviously more disguise coming from, which hurt us greatly last year. Obviously, with Eberflus, he had some of the worst disguise rates in the NFL, and he's basically, when you have low disguise rates, you basically lining up in your defense and you kind of showing your hand pre-snap. So that's why even backup quarterbacks had massive success under Eberflus, because it was an easy to read defense and dissect it. So that part is going to be taken away, which is going to help pass. That we championship ready defense? No. Do I believe we're going to be?
Well, I think we may have lost him there, Stoney. I think he was having a little bit of some Wi-Fi problems. Maybe he'll pop back in or not. But Boss bringing up a great point. I know we touched on the offensive side now and the defensive side, but let's get back to the 88 side. As we're 88 days. What is your favorite 88 moment of all time out of all the 88s? Is there one for you, Stoney?
I mean, there's a lot of them, especially when it comes to Mike. But the biggest one of them all is probably the Hail Mary to Drew.
Okay.
For that little bit older generation, that's probably what they remember most about Drew.
Okay, for that particular play, I'm talking about, is there a particular interaction for you between Drew?
You mean when they were here?
Yeah, Drew or Playmaker. Was there something that really stood out?
The surprise was a big deal, Barry. Just not knowing they were here, and you just get home like you think it's a normal day, and you got history in your house.
Yeah,
that's a pretty and then while he's here, he signed his book to me, and this was before he was actually was in the Hall of Fame. So we were talking about that while he was here, and how he should be in there, and why he wasn't in there yet, And I remember having that conversation with Drew, and he really enjoyed coming and seeing all this stuff. He said he's seen a bunch of Cowboy stuff, but not all at one time in the same place.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can only imagine that. Yeah, you definitely got an eye full out there. So what are some of the favorite 88 pieces you may have at the house? Is there any? I know you showed us the photo there with the Playmaker. Is there any other pieces that you have there in your Smithsonian that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Well, when Drew was here, did I show the book already?
No, you showed it to me behind stage. Yeah.
A book that he handed me, his Drew's book, and then he signed it. And then when Michael Irvin was here, I mentioned that he filmed a commercial in the front yard. Well, this right here is his cue card he left for me that he had to read, So that's a pretty neat thing. And then while Michael was here, he had an assistant with him, right? And he's like, run out to the car and bring that bag in here for me. So his assistant comes back in. She had a great big old bag. I mean, it was big. And it had a helmet, a jersey, a football, and a pennant in there. And Michael Irvin stood in the kitchen here and signed every one of them for me and just gave them to me. So, I mean, that was just really awesome for Playmaker to do that,
Yeah, that definitely.
That's a big memory there. I mean, how often do they show up at your house like that and just give you all that stuff and sign it for you, It's pretty awesome.
Whip out a bag of merch and have you sign it. I think we got Boss back with us. Boss, you with us? Can we hear you now?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to throw the question back to you. I know we talked offense and defense, but what's your favorite 88 memory of all time, if it's Playmaker or of any of the other guys?
Ooh, man, my favorite 88 memory of all time. It's gonna sound crazy, man, but my favorite 88 memory is not even like Michael Irvin making a play. It was just watching him on the sideline when Green Bay, we was playing Green Bay. uh, and Garrett was the quarterback. And I just remember just loving to see how, even though he was on the offensive side of the ball, he was talking to the defense like he was the coach, like specifically Larry Brown. And just to see his presence out there, man. So I wouldn't say a particular play because all the 88s made the dopest plays. And if I had to pick one play, it would be the Hail Mary, right? Because it's so dope to say that the actual play, which is on all of our video games, right? Which we all have done when we played in the backyard, said we're going for what? Hail Mary.
Hail
right?
Mary.
Literally
Go
started
long.
from us. You know what I mean? And a beautiful, crazy, impossible catch by our own guy, in a critical moment. So if I had to pick one, it'd be the Hail Mary, because Hail Mary's still famous, but it should be the Dallas Cowboy Hail Mary.
Yeah,
I got you. And mine is
don't
simply
you wish Drew has that ball back?
I bet he does.
That day, I bet he had that ball back.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Well,
yeah, because Hail Mary's so famous now. And the fact that how it came out is he said, "Hey, I just threw up a Hail Mary,"
Yeah.
And
he's like, close my eyes
stuck,
and set it through it and
if
said
I
a
had
Hail
to pick
Mary.
one play, right, it said a Hail Mary. That's crazy. So,
hey, boss, have you ever looked at that play like really technically? Did you see how there was actually an orange thrown on the field during that play?
They actually talk about it when you do a tour at the Star in Frisco. They have that.
Do they?
They have that play broken down as you go up the staircase frame by frame, and the tour guide tells you about it. I didn't know about that, Stoney. It's a great point. Great question that you bring it up. I didn't know about that until I did the tour either. And Drew actually talked about it on video that he'd seen something look like yellow came on the field when he caught the ball, and he thought it was a flag, but he said when it hit the field, it rolled, and he knew it wasn't a flag, but it was an orange, right, Stoney?
Exactly. And then something about, he didn't really catch that ball with his hands. I mean, he caught it with his hands, but he didn't reach out and grab it like you would, a high point in the pass.
Yeah, he caught it like in his lap, didn't he?
He caught it down on his leg by accident almost.
Yeah, a true Hail Mary. In fact,
I don't even know if he knew that he really had it.
Well, like I said, there was the ball. Yeah. I mean, it was the orange rolling. And then, there was a whole lot of things going on real fast for him right there. But if you got a favorite Dez memory or a favorite 88 memory, let us know on one of the 3 platforms that are tapping in. We got a couple of folks in the Metroplex here. We got Stoney and his Smithsonian. I got the Boss Cowboy from Boss Cowboy Sports out here. Can you tell us, Boss, what's going on new with Boss this offseason with 88 days? What kind of advice do you give basic fans that really don't tune in? Like, how do they get through this 88 days before we actually kick off the NFL?
Oh, yeah, because it's getting ready to slow down. So, we getting ready to hit our dead period. And so when we hit the dead period, you're going to need to kind of lean on content creators because content creators, we're going to kind of continue prepping people for training camp and the season. So what I have planned is, honestly, is I'm going to kind of take this time and finally kind of spend some me time and prepare for the season as much as possible. Prepare my content, prepare my look, prepare just planning, just everything to just, get off to a good streaming year, putting out content for the Dallas Cowboys. So, but I would recommend that fans during this dead period, just kind of keep your notifications on. As we have 88 days that's left, keep your notifications on. To try to help get you through these slow periods to where sports itself is slow. Because, see, all of us to a degree, even though we Cowboy junkies, we still sports junkies as well, So the way that you go get your sports fix is going to be us. And I would also say, I lean on independent media because I know, and I got this from my big brother, Barry, we create the news. The real ones. We create the news. We don't follow the news. So when I actually first started doing content, I was trying to find my voice. And Barry actually helped me find my voice. I was like, what would be a ways to really kind of generate content? Because I didn't know what I was doing at all. And Barry was like, hey, bro, you got to
As we all don't. We all figure it out as we go along the way.
Yeah, but you gave me the best advice ever. That was my first time doing a stream was with you. And he said, man, you just create it, like in terms of what's on your heart. Like, say what's on your heart, say what you believe and what's best to win. And I've never changed. Like, literally from that day, I've been sticking to that mission.
Appreciate those flowers, boss. Appreciate that. Let me throw this back to Stoney. What advice do you have for Cowboy fans from a fan's perspective down there at your Smithsonian, Stoney, with these 88 days left? How do they get through this summer?
Well, if you just can't get enough, you can always come here and check out this museum. Because it takes a long time to go through here and actually see everything. So, that you can spend a couple of days doing that, really. Hang on one second, Barry. We have technical difficulty here. Okay, we got it. But, you can always come visit the museum and hang out here and, do some cooking. Just kind of, the fans have got to get their stuff ready for the season as well. Not just the players, but you got to make sure you got all your seasoning rights for all your barbecuing you're going to be doing. You got to make sure that all your projects are buttoned up for the museum here that you did in the off season. We got to get ready for people coming. A lot of people coming to see the place. So we've got to make sure we're all spruced up, ready to go there. I need at least 88 days to be able to get ready. It's no problem for me burning off them days.
I love it. And boss, where can fans are you going to be at camp? Are you going to be out there visible where the folks can come and see boss and connect with boss out there in the trenches? As I know camp's going to start out in Oxnard and, it's going to work its way back to Frisco and then the hype's going to be there before the kickoff. How can folks find you?
Man, good question. I have kind of put my flag when they come to Dallas. So when people want to connect with me, I'm always here when they're kind of closing out training camp in Frisco. So when they leave, Oxnard and they come back home, I'm here, So if anybody want to connect with me, that's going to be the place to do it. I have not yet, as of late, been to Oxnard, ever. So it's something that's on my bucket list, but I'm the guy that helped close it out. So when we done with training camp, done with preseason, is we right there getting ready to kick it off. That's going to be my high point before it really goes and the bullets really take off.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be at the home opener. And I know, Stoney, you got room. I think you got like a conference room or something with some good Wi-Fi out there where maybe creators could come and we could do a live stream there at your
Absolutely.
Place. Tell us a little bit more about that.
We got plenty of room and we got all the Wi-Fi, all that stuff's good to go. I tell you, we also have the parade, Barry, that we do on the first home game, against the Commanders here, right? So we'll be doing the parade that morning early. We're just a mile away from AT&T Stadium, so we drive down there and we go around the Super Bowl one lap, around the stadium one lap for each Super Bowl. So we drive around it 5 times, hopefully 6 after this season. And we go down there and then we drive it back to the house. So we had a pretty good parade last year. In fact, if anybody wants to join in, just bring your Cowboy vehicle and get in the parade with us.
Well, that's what's up. And boss, you heard them, because I know we try to connect last home opener and, things happen, when bosses are moving around, but he's got space, baby. Let's get together stop by Stoney's and let you come take a peek and let's get a live stream in over there. Maybe the Commanders, when they open up for the home opener week 2, what you think?
I love it.
Sure.
I love it. I'm glad we finally got a chance to connect. I was able to connect my channel finally. I was kind of dealing with it as we were streaming.
Yeah, I seen the numbers go up. I'm like, boss must have got his audience on here. So okay.
Yeah. I was able to connect it. So, but a lot of people don't know, but me and you go way back, and there's a major disconnect between YouTube and Facebook. It's a massive disconnect.
Oh, I know.
It's
I had to plant my Facebook flag down.
Right.
YouTube is for all you cool kids.
Yeah, and so the thing is that I've learned from dealing with you is people almost have a thought that if you're not popping on YouTube, you're not popping. That's an absolute lie. That's an absolute lie. You can plant your flag in certain locations and dominate it. So so what BG does is he dominates Facebook, and he's been doing that for a while, you know. So it's one of those things to where you know, we can get cocky on YouTube, and we don't really look at the real numbers. If you look at the real numbers, if you look at, like, that's, you know, shout out to my brother Law Nation. You know, that's why one of the things that he did was so like wow to me. It's like, bro, you hit 100K on YouTube and you hit 100K on Facebook, bro. Like, now you really in your sauce when you are able to plant your flag and really exponentially grow multiple platforms. That means you really know what you're doing. So I just want to say that to everybody that's watching on YouTube, to make sure that y'all follow Barry and Stoney on Facebook. You know, just trust me on that, because content is content. Because what'll happen is we'll get in a habit. All of us do this. Like, some people are PlayStation people, some people are Xbox people, but really that's just your habit. At the end of the day, it's a console to where you play the same game. It's the exact same thing with streaming, you know. So I would say definitely make sure you follow Barry, because you will get a professional presentation. You'll get a real good quality, concise stream that's going to be centralized to your Dallas Cowboys. And he's an extreme diehard. I even like the thought process of 88 Day Special. Like, because a lot of people, in my opinion, Stoney, and what you're doing is so dope, don't really like go into our history. And the 88 is like the most classic number in the NFL because of the Dallas Cowboys, you know.
Yeah.
So shout out to people that really obviously know our history and respect it, like what y'all did, to just pause and say, yeah, we getting ready to fight for another championship, but let's also recognize one of the most important legacy numbers to our organization, and let's have an 88 day. And you know, this is something that honestly, this should become normal. Like, it should be normal for all of us, and stop and say our most famous number should be recognized by all our streamers on this day, pretty much going forward, just to acknowledge the greatness, because that number 88 has carried greatness the most consistent out of literally any team in the NFL and any number on the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely agree.
And Stoney, you know, talking 88s, I know Playmaker is your favorite. Playmaker is his favorite, as we're celebrating Playmaker in the month of June. What new projects for Boss's audience do you got coming in, as folks that may not know you're a couple of miles away from the stadium? You have a home that's open for touring. What can they expect if they come to see you over there at your Smithsonian?
They can expect to have a Dallas Cowboy party to get ready, you know, for the season. You know, it's great to live 1.6 miles exactly from their driveway to mine. I mean, you can basically just walk home. You know, you don't even have to drive down there. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I just feel the energy around here from this season with all our picks and everything. And you know, I'm not going to let this picking things. I really don't think I think they'll handle up on it. He'll be ready to go when we play the Commanders. So I mean, I'm not worried about that at all. He'll get his money. He'll get. I'm not worried about that. But you know, I think the team's excited. It feels different around here, and you know, we have a lot of people booking tours to come see this place. So, and things are really looking up for us. You know, we're a nonprofit, so all that works out for us. And we got our stuff. So
that's awesome. Making some headway out there. So, boss, we're gonna have the link up for the home opener out there, and maybe assemble the Voltron that we talked about maybe years ago, because I know you got the DC universe going on out there. Tell folks that's in my audience and on YouTube today how they can connect with you. I'm going to share your links down in the comments.
Yeah, so the channels on all the platforms is going to be Boss Cowboy Sports. So I go by Boss Show Me. I changed my name from Boss Cowboy to Boss Show Me, because, you know, first of all, that's what I do. I'm very big on proof. I'm very big on, you know, showing me. I don't like talking. I like you show me, you know. So that's one.
I like it. You can always show me better than you can tell me.
Yeah, like that just registers to me. It's like you got to really put in that work and show me. Like for instance, I'm excited about Parker, but he's a new coach, so I'm being very careful not to get way too optimistic because he's still a new coach and he has to show me. So, but yeah, you can find me on all the platforms at Boss Cowboy Sports.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate both of you gentlemen being able to join us today. I know it's a Saturday, and I know it's hot out there in Texas. It is hot out here in Washington State. I'm getting ready to go hit the lake and get in the boat here also. But I wanted to stop and pause and thank you, boss, for those flowers there. Yeah, I like to call out all the creators out there on 88 days today. Let's just make it public service or a public Cowboys announcement, right, boss? If you're a blogger, vlogger, anybody on any social media with 88 days left, let us know. Y'all got to post something. Let us know who your favorite 88 is. Let's keep the legacy going. Right, boss?
Yeah, and before you go, BG, you did mention DC Universe. Let me explain DC Universe. DC Universe is all of us. It's Stoney, it's you, it's me, it's every one of us that do content for the Dallas Cowboys on whatever platform you do it on. And so the whole vision of DC Universe is Dallas Cowboy Universe is for us to periodically be able to come together like this, So the fact that this is our first time doing a stream together, well, second time me and you be, but we got to do this more. So
for sure,
I'm gonna huddle the next time we huddle up the DC Universe. Look for my text, Stoney, BG. Look for my text. I'm gonna try to get y'all plenty of time, and we'll just do it just like we did at all of our channels, and we discuss. And usually when we link up on the DC Universe, it's something that's kind of serious going on, So let's say something like Pickens don't show up, or he shows up. Regardless, it's gonna be big news next week. Either way.
Oh yeah.
So we'll all come together and we'll talk about it. And you gonna have people like, we gonna have different, but we go all kind of give our takes on it and we shake hands and we move on. So that's what DC Universe is. And man, thank you for having me. And I want to make sure that y'all are a part of the DC Universe the next time we do it.
All right, y'all. And special shout out to all of our Patreon supporters that have kept the only blog talking about Cowboy fans like Stoney, talking about Cowboy fans like Boss Cowboy Sports, have been online for over a decade. We started in 2016. So special shout out. I'll put the Patreon link if you want to support the work over there where you can learn about these types of fans 365 days a year. This has been the 88-day special. So you heard it from Boss. You heard it from my guy Stoney. Playmaker is the guy. Let us know. My guy's Drew. Let us know who your guy is down there in the comments below. And like my guy Boss said, we're definitely going to see y'all back when we spin the block. Stoney, any parting words of wisdom before we get out of here for us?
Yeah, you guys come see us. And Barry, thank you very much for having us on. And Boss, look forward to you coming over here and doing a show as well. All right, guys, let's have a good season, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Most definitely, man. We're going to be streaming live there at Stoney's. That's the plan. We'll see if the plan changes. So make sure you turn on your notifications on all platforms. Look for the DC Universe to assemble at the home opener week 2. Dallas Cowboys host the Washington Commanders. I'm BG. We'll see y'all in the gym.
Go D!
On the next episode.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.